Today I'm installing one of these Amazon Parlos brand faucets in a bathroom at one of the rentals. It's always a little bit of a unknown when you install an off-brand in a rental. You don't know if you're going to have problems a week later or a year later, if you're going to be able to find parts or just replace the item entirely. So I take a little chance. We do everything from opening the box to installing it, and see what you think. Hope this helps you out. It's gonna be a super quick unboxing because I've already unboxed half of it. I'll set all this stuff aside. That'll come in handy later. It comes with the two hoses, which I like. Pop those out in a second. Get that going. Instructions we need them. Alright, this is the faucet. It's a little bit of a trick. The top piece is metal, but this bottom piece is plastic, and so is the water channel. So, lots of stuff on the shelf at Lowe's and Home Depot also has a plastic body and plastic water channel. So we're going to see how this one works out. Obviously don't just drop this in here yet, but that's how that goes. It'll sit on there. Box is the drain. All right, there we go. We got it out of the bag. It's real easy to do one-handed when you just shake it like that. I like that this drain has this big brass. I hope it's brass. It's probably cast something plated. Got this big nut. There's a different version of this that I bought before that had a smoother collar on here. This one's going to be going in a sink with the overflow drain. So we're going to have to check out and see how that works. I've had the top beauty ring here pop off of the cheap brands from the big box stores before. So I'm looking at this and it looks like it's all one piece or it's been soldered together or something, but it doesn't look like this is just a little shiny cover on top of a plastic body. This is a metal body, and that's what I really like about this. What was strange was this O-ring, but I think I know how that's going to play out here in a second. Also, this is a really neat little push button drain. It's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3. I'm kidding, it's not quite that easy, but it is pretty easy. All right, let's take a look. I've noticed that when this washer is assembled, this nut is going to ride directly on the back of this washer, and it's going to catch and bind. We don't want that. So I think it's a big failure on their part not to provide a piece of plastic that goes over that washer to provide a slick surface. So remember the piece we took off of the cover. So I've taken that, I've cut the center out, and now I'm cutting around this outside edge, and we're going to create a thin plastic washer. This is how this is going to assemble, obviously like that. That plastic washer is going to keep this big nut from binding up against that rubber and trying to tear or pull it. It's going to help it fit up inside and make a better seal. Alright, plumber's putty. This is what it is. Should have some handy. Don't use it on the bottom of the sink ever, ever, ever. Only on the top. It seals when under pressure. You can't pack it around something on the outside and get it to work. Roll it out, maybe not quite that thin. Try and get it smooth. Alright. I'm actually leaving this washer on here, and this is probably completely unnecessary. The washer doesn't really seal anything. It's the bottom that seals, but I'm going to put this on here because it helps it keep it from moving around and twisting and turning. So just like that. In place, I'm going to set that down in there. I've already checked this fit, so I like how it is with the rubber. I like how it is with the plumber's putty on there. All right, let's go to the bottom side. All right, this is the bottom side of our sink. This edge right here always has a sharp edge, so there's probably more than one way to do it. But I like to take this knife and make sure that that edge isn't sharp. If it's sharp, it's gonna catch the rubber seal and keep it from going in and making a good seal. We want it nice and smooth. Please take into consideration that it's almost impossible to hold this camera in here and do this at the same time. Alright, we've got our washer on, a rubber washer, our thin plastic washer, and our brass ring. Alright, I've placed the rubber washer pretty far up. Typically I'd actually recommend adding a little bit of a soap or a lubricant. On the top side, you need to make sure that the little lip is facing towards the faucet, not towards the sink. The lip goes on there. Now, the truth is, I'm going to come in here and line this with more plumber's putty because I don't want any water leaking underneath this. Since the plumber's putty really doesn't stick to this plastic very well, we're going to go ahead and flip it over and slide it in place and set the faucet on top of it. The last thing you want is for water to spill onto this deck right here and then work its way into the plastic without the plumber's putty and then drip down inside and ruin the base of your sink, the cabinet, your sink base cabinet. I'm going to set that in. I'm going to tighten this down. You'll see some of that plumber's putty squish out of there. We'll get that tightened down and straight and move on to the water lines. There we go, get that bag off of there. All right, we got a red one and a blue one. Red's always on the left, that's hot water, and cold's on the right. So, try to make this easy. So from there on out, it's essentially the same as installing any other faucet where you just tighten the supply lines. Hooking up the plumbing is a simple P-trap. We assume that everybody knows how to do that. If you don't, comment below and I'll make a video on that. I'm sure there's a million of them out there. But this video is already super long, so I just wanted to cut it off there as kind of a review of that Parlos faucet and a kind of a quick how-to on how I install those the way that I like to install them. If you're looking for other how-tos, other product reviews, other tips on landlording and how to be a professional investor in real estate and single family and eventually multifamily real estate, please follow this channel. I'll be producing more content in the near future and check out some of the older videos, previous videos that I've done.